Welcome to Watchwell Studio. What I've got for you today is a way of measuring the table area required to play a board game. As long as we've been making these videos, we wanted a way of talking about how much table space you'll need. It's an obviously useful bit of information to provide in a review, but it's been quite hard to provide something that's actually meaningful to board gamers, and also importantly that's fair to the game designers. So I'm going to talk through the problem and show you how I worked it through and my solution. And since we're in the process of reviewing Chicago Express at the moment, I'm going to use that game to illustrate the issues. The first thing we tried was measuring all the components laid out edge to edge with as little space between them as possible. Here's the game laid out, and as you can see, the components require Was that helpful? We found it wasn't, because knowing how large the components are doesn't really tell you how much space you need to play the game, does it? Obviously you're going to need more space than just the size of the components, and other games, for example, that have tiles or cards or a player board, and these things get added to a tableau that grows and grows, and it grows in different sizes for different players. It all gets very hard to come up with a definitive measurement of the space required. So it's really not straightforward to figure out how much space you actually need to play the game. So I played around with this a bit and expanded the space between the components and tried to see what that would look like. So I know that this is somewhat lost in the frame for the overhead camera, but you get the idea. And what I realized I needed for board games was a standard unit of measurement that was meaningful in the same way. It actually said something to me about the size of the game. My suggestion is that we could use a standard board game box, and I'm going to stick my neck out and say that the standard board game box is 30 centimeters by 30 centimeters, or a foot by a foot. Like this one. Here's one I prepared earlier, Valerie. So I'm going to say these are standard boxes. I've got loads of other games and there's loads of other sizes, but this is a very common size for boxes. Let's call it a standard board game box. So back to the start of the episode. What's the minimum table area you'd need to play a game of Chicago Express? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. To play Chicago Express, you need 4x2 standard board game boxes. 4 board game boxes by 2 board game boxes. That feels meaningful to me because I know what it is to pick up a square box that's that size. So there you have it, the Watchwell Studio measuring system. Unless I can find something better, that's what we'll be using for future reviews, and I hope it's useful for you too. Please tune in again for more board game reviews, our shopping expeditions, and episodes like this talking about issues around the games themselves. Enjoy your gaming.